takeaway from this survival shovel. It's an okay item. The blade is good. It doesn't wobble. Every once in a while, I found when I was like uprooting the earth, the handles would twist. But remember, I added extra handles, so maybe with fewer handles, you'll have more control over that. But for the most part, it does the basic job of digging up dirt. It does it well. But the problem is that the spade is so small that it's hard to actually move the dirt. Now, so I think that in like an actual like digging aspect of it, it's not going to be very effective, to be honest, because the spade is so small. Now, if you need to, say, dig a small trench, let's say like around a tent, for instance, like say you're in you expect rain to come and you want to dig a trench around your tent so that you can direct the water so you don't get wet, it's going to be great for that. If you need to do small holes, you're going to be able to move the dirt. Like say you want to you're not necessarily making like a hole per se, but you're digging like a hole and you're just moving the dirt out of the hole, like scraping it. It's going to work fine for that. I need to dig these holes up so I can get my trees in, and it's just, as you saw in the video, does a good job of digging the dirt up, but actually moving it out of that is very difficult. The blade, the spade blade is sharp. You can see it made fast work. I know you couldn't see it, but you could hear it. Well, I could hear it, but you see over here, it got these, for the most part, it dug the weeds out of the cracks. It does have some practical aspects to it. To be honest, you'd be better off with just like, say, going to Army surplus store and actually getting like an e-tool. The e-tool does much better work, but the blade is a little bit wider. It's a very narrow blade. It does do pretty well. This wasn't part of the video. If you can look in there, the serrated blade does a pretty of cutting through like small branches. So you could definitely use it if you need to get some small saplings or something. So for the most part, the shovel part of this, the BugOut Survival Shovel, is not that bad. But there's much better options out there. It's better than nothing. So, but I think the price tag on that was like $39.95. Now, granted, the other tools that come with it, that's what sets it apart. So, the knife, you got the knife, you got the spearhead, you got a ferro rod, you've got a whistle, you have a compass. It doesn't work, so the compass is a moot point. It doesn't even matter. But you have like all those other tools that are in part of it that set it apart. Now, if you go to buy an e-tool, a real e-tool, you're gonna spend more than $40, and all you're gonna have is a shovel with the blades. So, for the price, I don't necessarily think it's a bad tool. You have like a lot of tools with it, but you'd be better off using your money, in my opinion, buying a real e-tool, like going to a surplus store. I mean, I use my e-tool for all kinds. You fill sandbags with it. You can actually move dirt with an e-tool. So an e-tool would be better, and it folds down pretty compact. The e-tool might actually weigh a little bit more than that thing, but it's much sturdier. And then just, get a knife. Get a ferro rod. Piece together a better kit using an actual e-tool. I mean, it's okay, but it's not something that I would rush out. Knowing now what I know, if I knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't waste my money on Facebook trying to order one of those in. Now, granted, the one that I ordered in had like better stuff with it. It actually had like it was a little bit better in the video than this one, but since I got nothing, it was actually worse than this one, I guess. So, but that's my take on the shovel aspect of it. I mean, I do like it, and it'll do fine for like small tasks around the place, or if you're like camping, you know, it'll do the small tasks you need. I think that you could probably cut small. You could probably break up kindling with it, with the straight edge of it. You know, just only put like maybe 2 handles on, so you just have, you know, like a shorter handle. You could probably get some, and I'll try using with a shorter handle later on. I'm gonna use it. You're gonna see it in more videos coming up, because I'm gonna put it to the test. I'm gonna use it for a lot of things. We're gonna start fires with it. You know, we're gonna use a knife. You know, hopefully, we're gonna take it when we go somewhere where there's actually like frogs and stuff, so I can see how well I can, you know, spear frogs to that sucker. But you know, for the most part, it's not a horrible item. And, you know, and if you were to get that and want to, like, say you subscribe to Mystery SHTF Box, I don't know why. I know why I did it. You know, I was you know, trying to build a channel, and it was, you know, there is some cool stuff. This last year started out strong, but just fizzled out to where I just can't do it anymore. So we are switching to barrel and blade. So gear pack should be here tomorrow, and then next week I get the last of just the straight chow line barrel and blade, and then we'll get the full one for this month. So if you watch my Fishing Friday video, which was no box, Monster Bass did eventually get back with me, and they said there was an error in their system, so they didn't catch it. And I was like, well, you know, you didn't even send me an email. I felt like, you know, hey, the Platinum people got theirs, but I didn't get mine. They assured me that was not the case. Customer service, slow. At least in my case. Other people say they're pretty good. They were slow, but they understood my frustration, and so they took $10 off this box, and they're already shipping out my January box. So next week we'll be getting in the January Monster Bass. So because they actually did take care of the situation in timely, you know, they didn't like drag it out. They just said, you know, hey, we're sorry, we messed up. You know, hey, here's $10 off. We'll ship it out right now. So I will be keeping Monster Bass. So, which is a good thing, because I mean, I do like Monster Bass. I do plan on, not this month, but next month we'll be starting the Lucky Tackle Box up again. And then actually we might do it because next month, because I had to get my registration this month, so had a little bit of extra finances that I had to take care of. But next month we'll be starting up the Lucky Tackle Box. Although I do think I am going to go with the next higher level, the $41 tier, and get the 13 items and see what Lucky has to do for us in the multi-species. So we'll get a bass box, a multi-species box. But anyway, I got so sidetracked. Sorry I did that. But anyway, this shovel, if you were to get that in a box, I would not be upset. It's a solid item. It's constructed fairly well. It does the job. Not as good as other things, but it has some other things in it that kind of balance that out. So I wouldn't be upset if I got one. Well, I got 3 of them. You know, we got them back-to-back months. So, but you know, I may try that other spade too. Maybe the other spade with the rounded head will cover more dirt, but I doubt it. But anyway, that's it. Not a bad item. Not a great item. It's an okay item. You know, it does the job it's supposed to do. So, but anyway, hey, until next time, hey, keep prepping.